Hello everybody, this is Joni and I'm just getting ready to make a video for you. I am making it here in my living room and I've got things strewn all over the place because I'm working on a card table because I haven't gotten my studio cleaned up yet. But I'm hoping to have it cleaned up before too terribly long. But anyway, getting back to what I'm doing, I have this little basket. I haven't even taken the tags off of it yet. And I am going to make a little thing to hang in my kitchen. And what I have done so far, this is all I've done. I really wasn't holding it when I should have been. I put a little piece of styrofoam down in here. It's really not styrofoam, it's the kind of stuff that they use, I forget what they call it, when they're going to use real flowers and they want to keep them moist. They put that down in there and then they wet it. But I'm going to have to put some more glue on this because it's not staying on very well. I didn't hold it long enough. I was busy getting some things. So that should take care of it. It always has worked before. I don't know why it wouldn't now, if I just hold on to it nicely. I'm going to put some, I want to hang this in the kitchen, and it has a flat background to it. And I think that it will look pretty, it's just sitting in there up against the wall with some greenery in it. And I have some little birds' nests here somewhere, but I swan I have looked and looked, but my things are in such disarray, my goodness gracious. I cannot find anything, and it hasn't helped that I've been sick all this time, and things just keep getting pushed back farther and farther, so I'm hoping to get all of that straightened out so that when I'll need something, I'll be able to go over and pick it up and know where it is. I think that's holding pretty well now. Now I'm going to start out with, these are little things that I bought at, little picks that I bought at Michael's. And they were very cheap, so I bought several, and gotta get some more over there. I really do like them. Let's see what they look like down in here. Try to keep that together as much as I can. Keep it from spreading out. I'll probably have to cut them off a little more than they are too, because they're a little bit high for this. So I'll cut them off some where they won't take up so much space at the top. And of course, it'd be easier to cut if they weren't three together. I hope that you all have been, making a lot of pretty things. I know you have. I've been watching a lot of you. And everything. You've been making a lot of really pretty things. Yeah, I think that looks better. And so let's see, let me measure. About right there. We are, believe it or not, they're saying there's a possibility we may get a bit of snow Tuesday. That is hard to believe that I've only seen it snow here one time. That was in the 90s though. And Tanya's husband said that he had never seen it snow here. I think he must have been away at school or something when it snowed. Because it snowed when we were here in the 90s. Just a little skiff enough to get everybody excited and buy everything out of the stores. Because they go for it. I mean, to tell you, they clean everything off of the shelves because they're afraid that they're going to be stranded without food. So I guess that we'll probably have to be getting some things too so that we totally won't be without anything. But I mean, those shelves, they take that stuff off of those shelves. It looks like someone's just come in and raided the place. That reminded me when I said that of a program I was watching the other day, a video. And this girl, I watch her a good bit. And she went into a Dollar Tree. And she said it was in Dallas. And I have never in all of my life seen a store like that. You could hardly walk in the aisle. There were so many things just strewn all over the floor, and my goodness, like I said, I've never seen a store like that before. And I didn't know what to think of it because it was totally bumfuzzling to me. And she said that she had to pick her way around the stuff to get by. But she said there were things in that store that she had never seen in her own stores that she shopped at all the time, her Dollar Trees. And that was wild too, that they would be that disorganized, but yet have things that the other stores don't have. But, I mean, it looked like someone had put a bomb off in there just about. Because I have never ever seen a store look like that. But, because our stores, well, any that I've ever been in, are, you know, they get messed up where people come in and go through everything all the time, but not in the floor like those things were that she was showing. They were ridiculous. Let's put it this way, there were more things in the aisle than there was on the shelves. I need to know where my little nest is. I've got several, and then I have eggs galore. I don't know where they are. And if I can't find them, that's not going to be very good. Let's see if I can put something other colors in here. Give a little bit of diversity. if we do get snow, my. It would be nice to see snow. I love snow. But I wouldn't sure want to get out on the roads down here, because the roads here get very, very slippery. I mean, I'm used to slippery roads when it snows, but not like they are down here, because they say that it's because, or at least this is what they used to say, I don't know anymore, their material is made from shells and things, and they say that that gets more slippery. Now, I could be wrong about that, but that's what they used to say. My sister's husband was born and raised here, and that's what he told us. My brother, I had two brothers moved down here, and they started going fishing with my sister's husband, and they called him tiny, but he was 6'3", and he weighed probably about 225 pounds, something like that, and he was just the nicest guy you'd ever want to meet. And he had this net that he had made himself. They sell them down here, but a lot of the people who are from here originally make their own, and they crochet them. And some of the men from up north, the way things used to be, of course things have changed a lot now. If a man were seen crocheting, they would have, laughed at him and called him sissy and all that. But her husband made his own net, and we would go fishing, and we would sit on the shore, and he would wade out in the bay, probably about, maybe 60 yards or so, and he would cast that thing. And when he would pull it back, he would have from 10 to 20 fish in it. And they were big fish. They weren't small. And so he wouldn't have to cast very much until he would have enough fish to fix for the dinner. And we would have a cookout on the beach. And he and my sister would fix hush puppies, and that deep fried fish, oh my goodness, and French fries. It was delicious. He was an excellent cook, and so was she. And we would eat and eat and eat, and it was just so good. And that's things that you have fun doing. We would always get shelter that was on the beach so that you didn't have to be out in the sun and everything. And everyone would just laugh and have fun and talk and eat their good fish. It's delicious. He could make the best hush puppies I've ever eaten, that's for sure. A good guy. moving. It's looking pretty good. I have enough of that to continue with it. I don't know if I have. Yeah, here's some. Hope you can see what I'm doing. Putting it around in the baskets. Just a little basket, but yet it makes such a pretty thing. When Tanya was 2 months old, we came down here. It was her first trip to Florida when she was 2 months old. And we would cover her up and put lotion on her and everything. I went to the druggist store and asked the druggist what was the best lotion to put on her because I didn't want her getting sunburned, that's for sure. So he told me what to put on her, and I got it and used it on her, and she was never sunburned. That sun is really something when you get down here. Ugh. And that undertow at our beach is really nasty. I mean, we have a big undertow over there. It's really bad. You have to be very, very careful. I had 2 nieces, my husband's sister's children. They were up in their, well, they were pretty old. They were probably in their early 20s, and they came to, not down here, but they went to South Carolina or North Carolina, one of those. And they were just, the youngest one just went out, and I guess she thought she could go farther than what she really should have, and she went out and got in that, and the undertow got hold of her and was taking her right out to sea. And her sister jumped in and began screaming out to her and telling her to swim horizontal to the beach, because you don't want to try to swim into the shore, because if you do, it'll pull you out farther. You want to swim right along, like the same way the beach is going. And the lifeguard went out, and he was finally able to get to her and bring her back in, but she just about was lost. And that really spooked them, because it's dangerous, very dangerous. Those undertows are just so heavy, and they're so strong that they can just take you anywhere they want them to get you to go. And I don't know how I got on undertows. You can tell I haven't been out talking much to people. I'm in need of some conversation. has got that, I can't even get that cut, nor not even with my pliers. I don't know what in the world that is, and it's just such a tiny little thing. I don't, what it is. There, it finally came loose. Some kind of a string, but I've never seen a string that strong before. Hard to get your finger down in there. It's getting really full. All I need to do is get that cellulitis down in there and get it messed up again. It hasn't gone away yet. I'm still putting lotion on it to, it turns really red and it gets a big puffy place there on my hand. And it lets you know that it's still thriving. So it's still pretty big. Right there's the puffy place. And just aggravates me. I wish that if it had that flocking in it like I think it does, I really do think that's what it is. I think that it will, I'm hoping that it will come out and work its way out is what I'm hoping. My son-in-law got a piece of splinter in his hand one summer, and he got that cellulitis, and he had to go into the hospital, and they had him on antibiotics and everything. They never did get it better, and finally, when he came home, after a long while, his hand began hurting, and it festered up and began bleeding. And he said it was looked like there was something trying to come out. And he took his hand, his other finger, and squeezed that where it was bleeding. And the piece of wood that had been down in there popped out. So that's what had been wrong with it. That piece of wood was down in there keeping it from getting better. And as soon as that wood came out, it got better. So I'm wondering if that isn't about what's happening to mine, except my flocking that's in there is not wanting to come out. It's not as thick as a piece of wood would be. Because he had a piece of wood from the fence. He was helping my husband replace our privacy fence, some of it. And he hit his hand or something on a piece of the wood, and a splinter got in there. And then that night, he and I believe it was Tanya, went out to eat, and he ate, I believe it was crab, and he was taking his fingers, of course, and breaking the legs apart, and to get the meat out. And they think that maybe that got some more bacteria or something from the crab down in there, which would make sense, but you wouldn't think of that unless you just happen to know about it. At least I wouldn't. And so now we know if you get something in your fingers to keep them away from seafood until your hand gets better. So maybe there's a word of advice for you. Because I guess that seafood has a lot of bacteria in it where it's hasn't gotten probably cleaned as good as it should or something. Oh, that reminds me of a really funny story. I can tell you guys. You all like to hear me tell stories anyway. At least you say you do. If you don't, just blame yourself for telling me you do. We came down here, and we were here. We were living here, and we went to Destin about every 3 months. I would take the family over to Destin, and we would stay over there for anywhere from 3 to 5 days. And because that was right after my husband passed away, and I knew that everyone needed to get away and just have some fun and think about get particularly away from this area for just a few days, because it was too very mindful of what had happened and everything. So anyway, we went over, and there was a restaurant we always loved to go to. The name of it was Captain Kidd's. And they had the best seafood. Oh, you'll just never know how good it was. So it's right on the beach, and you can see the boats coming in and out of the area there, right beside where the porch is of the restaurant, because it's right on the bay, and all these boats have to come by the porch there. So we went in, and we all sat down, and we all ordered what we wanted and everything. And of course, everyone knew that there was my son and his wife and Sophie. And then there was Tanya and her husband, but they weren't married at that time. I don't think they were. No, I don't think they'd gotten married yet. And see, my son, his wife, and Sophie, and then Tanya and her husband, or boyfriend, and then me. And so the waiter, he was going around and just waiting on us, and he was doing everything like they are supposed to do, you know, taking good care of their people and everything. But he kept going to Tanya's husband and to my son. And he was just making sure that they had the best service there ever was. Well, everyone knew that I was going to be picking the tab up for the dinner, because I told them that I would take them over there and pay all their expenses and everything. And so this guy didn't know this. So he had completely ignored me. I mean, it was just like, he hadn't ignored me, but he just wasn't buttering me up like he did my son and Tanya's boyfriend. Because he was really hitting them hard, with the flattery and, well, have you got everything you need and all this and that and something else. And he was just giving me good service, but not anything in particular that was stupendous, let's put it that way. So we ate, and we had a good time, and we had lobster and crab legs. Crab legs is what we had. And so when it came time that the bill was to be paid, he came around, and he looked, and he said, okay, he said, now who wants the bill? And my son looked kind of funny because he's kind of usually pays everything, and he gives tips like you wouldn't believe it and everything. So anyway, but he knew that I'd already told him not to pay anything. I was going to do it. So Melvin looked straight funny, and I just looked and I said, well, I said, I think that's going to be me. That's going to be paying the bill. And that guy looked at me like if he could, he would have jumped off of that pier. Because he thought he had really done a number. He had been giving the best service to the guys, thinking that they were the ones that were going to pay, when it was Mom that was going to be doing the paying. And I got so tickled at that, and I started laughing. We laughed ourselves about silly after it was over, but he really knew that he had made a big boo-boo, because you can't tell who is going to be paying for the meal and giving you your tip by just thinking that you know who's going to. You have to know for sure. But he thought for sure that he knew that, and he kept going over towards my son mostly. I think he thought he was the one that was really going to do the buying and everything, but nope, he was wrong. It was his mama. And but we have laughed about that time and time again since then, and it's just hilarious. Is all you can say. Really funny. He learned not to think that he knew who was going to be paying his tips from then on. That taught him a big lesson that night. But his face looked like he had dropped through the pier just about. He looked like, oh no, and I haven't even been near her much at all. And she's going to be giving me my tip. So it's really funny when things like that happen. Because I don't know, I thought it was very funny. But we would go over and stay, like I said, about 3 to 5 days, about every 3 months, and just get away and have some fun and go to a movie. And we even went over there for Christmas. We took all of our packages and everything and had Christmas over there. And then we went to see, I forget what it was, one of the Christmas movies that was out. It might have been Home Alone 2. And we had some really fun times over there. We always stayed at the Desert Palms. If you ever need well, now I don't know what it's like now, because I haven't been over there for quite a while now. We haven't been going on vacation like we had been, because Tanya's husband works a lot more than what he was, and my son is working more than what he used to. And so we just don't have the time, it seems like, that we used to. And but we truly enjoyed it when we were going over. But the Desert Palms is a fabulous, or it was a fabulous place to stay. You could go right up from the pool. You didn't have to get out of the pool to get food if you didn't want to, because they could serve you from right there at the pool. And or you could get out and sit at a table there and eat. But it was really good. And the rooms were so big and expansive, and you had the big, the pool looked like it looked really like a lagoon is what it looked like. Because the pool was so big that it just wound, well, you could look at it if you were interested in a motel. You can look at it online. It looked like you were at a lagoon, and the pool just wound around, and the hotel in front and everything. It was beautiful. Okay, here's what it's looking like so far. Something's not right someplace. I don't know where it is. I think maybe I need a bow right here in front or something. I don't know what. Oh, that might look cute. I'm going to have to get my other ones, though. I've got some of the smaller lemons, but I've taken those in the other room now. So I'll have to. I got a thing here, but it's too big for the for this. Let me cut this off and see how big. I can always put it back on if I don't like it. This thing doesn't sit down, so it's sort of hard to deal with. Nest is, I think, really too big. Yeah. That nest was not, I've smashed all my stuff. If the nest were not as big, it would be really pretty. But it is. But I think that the egg, not egg, it looks like an egg. The lemon, if I had 2 more lemons, I think they would be, look, I'm going to walk in my room and I'll be right back. Okay, let's see how these lemons look down in here. I think that might look pretty back in that. What do you think? Like it with the lemons? I'll have to glue them just a little bit. I'm not going to glue them very much. I think I like that. And I'll probably have to get a piece of ribbon and make a little, I need something right here too, because some greenery right there. Okay, I'm gonna put some, I wish I could hold this thing up. It just doesn't stand up. It wants to go back on you all the time. These little lemons are so cute, and they look so, can I prop this up a little bit more. They look so real. They look like they're real McCoy. I used to buy my lemons by the dozen every spring. I must have had a vitamin C deficiency. And I would eat the whole dozen in about a week's time with salt. I love those things. And clean. I did my spring cleaning with my lemons, eating lemons and salt. And was it ever good? Then after that week, I'd be full. I wouldn't want any more until the next spring. So it had to be a vitamin C deficiency because I didn't take vitamins back then. I was in my probably early 20s, I would say. That basket is a little crooked in front too. It makes it, it makes it, well, stay back here. I'll do this up. I need to stick something green right down in here. But now I take all of my vitamins and everything. So I still could eat the lemons raw though. I just love them. Sophie has always loved raw lemons. I tell you, I don't know if I would ever want to use any more of that nuclear medicine that they had me use for x-raying my lungs. Because since then, since I came home, I've had a lot of problems that I didn't have before I went into the hospital. The left side of my tongue, you have to breathe that into your lungs over a period of probably about 5 minutes or 8 minutes, 10, something like that. And that was the test that I said that you had to put the big nozzle about this big around in your mouth, and then there's a bigger nozzle on the end of it that you have to get in your mouth. And she told me, she said, okay, she said, you put this in your mouth, and then you will hold your breath until I tell you can breathe. I said, okay, because, you know, it's just like any of your other tests that you take when you're getting a lung x-ray or anything like that. Hold your breath, and then they'll tell you when to breathe. So I put the nozzle in, and it was big, but I got it in my mouth and everything. And she said, okay. She said, hold your breath. I said, okay, because I got that nozzle in, can't talk much. I said, okay, just sort of mumble. And she said, take a deep breath, okay. And she never did say, until I can tell you you can breathe. And I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and I'm thinking, this is an awful long time not to breathe. I'm getting to where because I was swallowing, I was trying to breathe, you know, get some help from just swallowing. And nothing was working. And I was going, you know, like something's wrong here, something's going on. And after the longest time, I don't know how long, but after the longest time, she came up by my side and she said, "You can breathe a little." I said, "You mean I can breathe?" Because I said that then, but of course I had the thing still in. She said, "Oh yes, just breathe normal for about the next 2 minutes." And I had been supposed to be breathing for all that time that I couldn't breathe. And she didn't tell me it's okay to breathe now. So since I came home, I have been, the left side of my tongue gets so sore that I can hardly stand it. I can hardly brush my tongue. And then on the outside of my neck, even from here all the way up through here where that tongue is sore inside, it comes all the way to the outside. And I'm getting sore on the outside also. So I don't know. And I said, now this nuclear medicine that they're going to have me breathe, I said, it's not like this stuff that's going on with the things, oh, except I wasn't calling them things. I knew the names then. With the imaging, oh, whatever. The not the CAT scans, but the MRIs. This is not like the MRI, contrast, that is staying in your body and not coming out, is it? And she said, "Oh, no," said, "they're not having any trouble with this at all." And I said, "Well, if it is, I don't want to take it if it's got any trouble like the MRIs is having with their contrast staying in the body and then going to your vital organs and causing troubles." So she said, "Nah," she said, "it's fine." She said, "There's nothing wrong with it." So I thought, oh, well, I guess. She says, "It's okay. What are you going to do? Not take the test?" And, but you don't know if they're telling you the truth or not. Of whether it's good, if it's going to stay in there or what. But I know that my tongue and my throat have not been the same since I took it. And so I just hope it gets better, because I don't want any problems from something. And then come find out I didn't have anything. I didn't think that I had any blood clots in my lungs because I hadn't had any problems breathing. And my brother-in-law had a blood clot that went to his lungs, and he thought that's when they were having the Gulf War and they were calling everybody out and everything. He thought that he was a paratrooper in World War II. He was trying to get out of the bed to go report to service. Okay, here we go. This is my basket. I see something that I don't like the looks of. What is it? I think it's this one. Yeah. I usually stand when I make my things like this, but lately I've been sitting down, and I can make them better if I stand. But it's late in the night as usual, as par for me, my course. It's very late. So that, I'm going to call that probably pretty well quits. I think that is pretty. I think that will look pretty hanging in my kitchen. I'll hang it up where it's gonna hang, and I'll film it hanging up and say goodbye to you. I think that's gonna be pretty. I think I have enough greenery in there, and I do like the lemon in there. I think they look cute. So I'll be right back as soon as I get it hung up.